That breaking news happening right now in Minnesota, where law enforcement sources are saying Vance Bolter is now in custody. He's the suspect in the deadly shooting of a Minnesota state lawmaker earlier this weekend. That's according to sources with the Associated Press. The news broke within the last half hour and comes after authorities in Minnesota say they found a cowboy hat they believe belonged to him about an hour drive outside of the Twin Cities. Authorities haven't given any details about how Bolter was captured or where. Coming up in just a bit, we're going to hear from a man who says he worked with Bolter in the River Valley in the past. We'll hear more about his connections to the area in just a bit.
Many of us are dry right now, but we do have a few spotty showers across the area this evening, primarily in northwest Arkansas. It's a live look there in Fort Smith over Rogers Avenue, where things are quiet at the moment. Live radar here shows a couple of spotty showers from Fayetteville up through Springdale. A lot of this is going to continue fizzling out. Very spotty in nature, but should be a little bit drier over the next couple of days. With that said, a good chance a lot of us are going to wake up to some fog come tomorrow morning. Fog predictor here at 7 o'clock shows patchy areas of that dense fog, mostly north of I-40, but I suspect there could very well be some south of I-40 there as well. You may plan on that to slow you down on that morning drive. You'll have some clouds out there as well, but those clouds are going to be breaking throughout the day, and it's going to end up being a pretty decent day overall. 82 by 5 o'clock tomorrow evening in northwest Arkansas. Meanwhile, the River Valley likely in those upper 80s, getting close to that 90-degree mark. Can't rule out a couple of spotty showers out there tomorrow, but I'll tell you the odds are going to be a little bit lower. We're going to start to dry out for at least a few days before we see some more rain moving in the later part of the week. We'll track that. We'll also track how hot it gets between now and then, coming up here in just minutes.
Now to the breaking news we told you about at the top of the newscast. Vance Bolter, the man suspected of killing a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, has been captured. The arrest was confirmed to the Associated Press by a law enforcement official within the last hour. We're still waiting on details about where Bolter was captured and his condition. News of his capture came hours after search team found this cowboy hat and a car they believe belonged to Bolter about 60 miles from the crime scene. Bolter was wanted for shooting and killing a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband over the weekend. He's also suspected in a separate shooting that left another Minnesota lawmaker and his wife hospitalized. Investigators believe both shootings happened in separate home invasions while Bolter was disguised as a law enforcement officer. Police haven't confirmed a motive for these shootings, but a list with the names of abortion rights advocates was found in another vehicle he left at the crime scene. Tonight, we are learning about the suspected shooter's ties to Arkansas. A Springdale pastor says he knew suspect Vance Bolter and is stunned by what he's seeing in the headlines. He says they work together at a local plant.
I saw his picture and I thought, oh no.
Long before Vance Bolter became the subject of a nationwide manhunt, a local pastor says Bolter lived and worked in Fort Smith.
When I first met him, he was my supervisor for a short time, and then I switched departments.
Daniel Tucson now leads First United Methodist Church in Springdale, but he says the two worked together at the Gerber baby food plant in Fort Smith, where Bolter was a supervisor. Tucson remembers him as kind and composed. The two became fast friends.
It was very faith-oriented, very family-oriented. I thought he was great to work with. We got along great. He seemed to lead people well. Never saw him lose his cool.
He says the two worked together for about a year, but they kept in touch. 25 years later, Bolter's name stood out instantly when it appeared in national headlines.
I was like, I know this guy. I hope it's not him. But unfortunately, as the news has, more investigation's been done, it seems to be him.
Tucson says he's struggling to understand how the person he once knew could allegedly commit such an unthinkable crime.
This is not the Vance that I knew, that I feel like I know, and my heart breaks. My heart breaks for the victims and for the families, for their communities. My heart breaks for his family. My heart breaks for him, for whatever happened that led to this. It makes no sense.
Bolter's LinkedIn shows he worked at Gerber from 1999 to 2004, but it doesn't have a specific location. 5 News has reached out to Gerber, Nestle, their parent company, and Minnesota investigators, but we've not heard back yet. Once again, the Associated Press is reporting that Bolter is in custody tonight. You can follow any developments on this case on our free 5 News app. Jamie Waterman is set to be sentenced tomorrow for helping his wife Amber cover up the murder of a pregnant mother from Benton County. He'll appear before a federal judge in Springfield, Missouri, after pleading guilty as an accessory fact to kidnapping resulting in death. Prosecutors say he admitted knowing his wife kidnapped and killed Ashley Bush and her unborn child, then helped hide the body and cover up the crime. The charge carries up to 15 years in federal prison without parole. Amber Waterman has already pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison for the federal kidnapping charge. She's still awaiting a separate capital murder trial in Benton County, where prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty. Ashley Bush was 31 weeks pregnant at the time of her death. Investigators say Amber Waterman kidnapped Bush in Arkansas and took her to Missouri in a plot to raise the baby as her own. Amber's next court date is July 7th. Today in Van Buren, Crawford County hosted its first ever Pride Parade. 5 News reporter Parker Abels was there and tells us just how much this means to the LGBTQ+ community.
For the first time ever, Crawford County is home to a Pride Parade.
We took the first and hardest step today. A new front has been opened in the global fight for equality.
For the LGBTQ+ community who live there, including the organizer and grand marshal of the event, Eli Clarity, it's been a long time coming.
I'm somebody who grew up in the closet gay in this county, and to see my community that at one point in time I was scared to come out of, coming out in such force today for equality, it fills my heart in a way I can't describe to you.
And the turnout exceeded all expectations.
It's incredible. We didn't think we were going to get a turnout like this. You know, Fayetteville's first Pride they ever did had only 40 people. And you look at this, we're blowing past that.
Now organizers are looking forward to 2026.
Next year, the second Crawford County Pride Parade. Bigger, larger, maybe a Chinese dragon floating in there, something crazy, horses, vehicles. It's gonna grow every year.
And this parade meant the world to this group that finally got to celebrate Pride in their hometown.
We've made so much progress. In high school, we tried to start the Gay Straight Alliance in 2012, and now they're going strong, and we have a Pride.
And I'm just so happy to see this happening right here at home.
This is the step in the right direction for a better future for the United States.
Clarity believes this event shows just how much resilience the community has.
But we have powered through it because we are convicted with the thought, with the knowing that we're doing right here. We're marching for every kid in the closet. We're marching for every adult in the closet. And you're going to hear the people sing today.
In Crawford County, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
Sallisaw also hosted Sequoia County's first ever Pride Festival today. Organizers say they had an incredible turnout along with 30 vendors. State Representative Michelle McCain also delivered an opening address to start the festival.